Okay. Danica Patrick has joined us, and Danica drives the number 7 GoDaddy.com Chevrolet in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. She's 9th in points. Certainly a veteran here at the Brickyard. Be the first time in a stock car here at the Brickyard. But before we go into that, I know that something that I know I'm interested in, and I think everybody else out in this room will be interested in, is that your music video debut with Miranda Lambert, Fastest Girl in Town, debuts, I believe, this Monday. I can't wait to see that. That's two people that I have a lot of respect for, Miranda Lambert and Danica Patrick. And just talk about that a little bit. I know you mentioned it here recently. You had a lot of fun making that with her.
I did, yeah.
Talk about that a little bit, Danica.
I have seen it, so I can't say the same about I can't wait to see it because I have seen it.
Okay.
But it was a lot of fun. Miranda is a very, very cool girl. We had a lot of fun shooting it. It was definitely a long day, but she rewarded me with a Miranda Rita at the end of the day, which is her cocktail. So that was nice of her. And yeah, I mean, we just, we got to be a couple of kick-ass girls. So that's always a fun role to play. And so, yeah, I hope everybody likes it. It was a lot of fun to shoot.
I think we will. Let's talk a little bit about coming here to Indianapolis. Certainly, as you mentioned to me, as you sat down, you've been in this room a few times before. But talk about what it means to come here, racing in the Nationwide Series, racing a stock car around this big track.
I don't care what I drive around this track. I love being here. I just like everything about it. I like the facility, obviously, and to me, the special thing about Indy is obviously I've had great experiences, but it's about the track. So it doesn't matter what kind of car I come in here. I've had great experiences, memories. So that's what I like so much about it, and I love the tradition. The older I get, the more I realize how much history and tradition plays a role in what's important and what matters and what means the most to you.
Very good. We'll take questions now. Let's start.
You sound really old with that answer.
No, you're not. Let's start here with Bob Pockris, Chris Jenkins, and then we'll work our way around here. Go ahead, Bob.
Bob Pockris, Sporting News. Now that you've been out on the track, I mean, you knew it was going to be different than an Indy car, but was there anything that was more pronounced than you might have thought?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's just about finding a balance with the car out there, which is no different than an Indy car. You're just trying to find a balance. All you're doing in an Indy car is trimming it out, and if I could have more downforce in these cars, I'd probably take it because, in an Indy car, we learned very quickly that it's about how much throttle you could carry around here. So, you can definitely use a little more road in these cars, I feel like. I wish I was using more right now, but, cars are getting very low in the corners, and, that can be a little bit of a danger in an Indy car, especially if you get just a little bit too low and get a little loose. So that's a little bit different, I suppose, but nothing terribly unexpected. It did feel a little funny driving through Gasoline Alley, though. I'm used to walking, and I'm used to seeing the alley cats, and I didn't see them either. And I just saw a bunch of yellow shirts, and that was nice, but I didn't see any alley cats.
Go ahead, Chris. Can we give Chris the mic there? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's get that gentleman first, and then we'll go to Chris. I guess we'll go to Chris.
Hi. I was wondering if you could discuss the possibility of maybe doing the double next year and what the appeal of that might be. And also, what is in a Miranda Rita, or is that proprietary?
Miranda Rita, I'll tell you. Okay, so the Indy 500 next year. I would love to do it. I've said that all along. I love this track. I love the race. I've had, I feel like I've had really good races. I feel like it was always one of my strongest races of the year in IndyCar. So I feel like that's something I would love to do, and maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. But I can tell you that the only way it's going to happen is if it's with someone that I really feel like we can go out there and have a shot to win, because I think it's unfair to the history I've had here and to my memories to do anything less than that. I wouldn't want to wreck anything I've experienced here with something to take away from that. So if we do it, it'll be with the shot to be able to win. On top of that, there's just a whole lot of logistical issues, of course, to iron out if that were to be the case. But first and foremost, good car. And then the Randarita. Okay. The Randarita, I think, it's Bacardi. It's Sprite Zero and Crystal Light, I think. It just tastes like straight sugar, which is delightful.
All right. Let's work this side of the room right here. Thank you.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. Obviously, Danica, you've had a lot of experience here, but I wondered, have you been able to gather from your team and maybe Tony Jr. and your guys? This is Nationwide's first appearance here. Have they been a little bit more excited about being able to come here this weekend?
No. Logistically, this is not exactly the best layout for stock cars, I feel, and it's because they use the haulers so much, and I don't think it has anything to do with the track. It's nothing to do with that. It is hot here, so that's just the time of the year, and it's also been like the hottest summer I can remember. That's a bit of the issue. It's hot, and it's just the truck is so far away from the garages. So I feel like logistically, it's just a little bit of a pain in the butt for them. So, but I'm determined to make them all love it and to make them see what I see. So I think I'll get them there by the end of the weekend.
Here you go. Back row. Go ahead, Claire.
And they say that the yellow shirts are pretty strict around here, but I'm like, I see all the yellow shirts and they all like wave and hug me. So, you know, I say you just have to be really nice to them. You have to smile, wave, how you doing? I just show them some love, you know? That's what I always did around here, and then, you know, I come back and they hug me. So, there you go.
Go ahead, Claire.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Do you have any Camaro stories that, you know, today the Camaro was unveiled and everybody seems to identify with that car? Do you have one? Did you have a Camaro?
I do. It was a car that was built by Funkmaster Flex with one of my sponsors, Peak, sort of commissioned the whole thing to come together. It was for a TV program. And I got it here at Indy at this track. And I think it was a 67, right? 67 Camaro, I think? 67, something like that. Anyway, it was old. So and I got it here at the track, and we shot a little piece about it, and it was cherry red, like fire engine or cherry red, and it had a number 16 with a circle around it on the side of the door, sort of like a little bit, sort of not a bright white one, but a sort of faded look. So yeah, that's my story of a Camaro. So it's actually very appropriate that I would have that story and that you would ask about that. It was very cool to see the unveiling of the new Chevy Camaro today, and for the Nationwide Series. It's a great looking car. Tony Jr. and I were sitting next to each other and said that, dang, that pace car is a good looking car. So maybe I'll have to get one of those in the future.
Let's work this row right here if we can. Marty, you got one too? Let's get these two young men right here, and then we'll go to Marty.
Thank you for calling me a young man. It's good to see you back, Danica. This place is loaded. In fact, it's John Bryant from Nazareth Race Cam. We've known each other for years, but you know this place is loaded with history from when you first got here until now. Do you realize that you got a good shot at being the first woman to win Indy? Because Scott Pruitt's got a good shot at being the oldest driver to win Indy.
Well, I had a shot at winning Indy my very first year here. So, I mean,
Well,
you know, being the
is
first
now
woman
you
to win
gotta-
an Indy is kind of not a familiar concept. It's not an unfamiliar concept to me.
Now you have the equipment though.
Okay. I think I had that in IndyCar sometimes too. So, you know, I think it's just a matter of how the day plays out, the good work that you do leading up to the race, and then just having a couple of lucky breaks in the race and having a strong car. So, you know, that I know that Junior Motorsports has done everything they can to prepare a great car for this race. And Tony Jr. definitely has the experience here with coming here in a Sprint Cup car. So hopefully that'll play into our favor.
Let's take one right there, and then we'll go back to Marty. Go ahead, sir.
Danica, Dick Mittman with the 500 old-timers. When you were here in the Indy car, which turn gave you the most trouble? And in your brief time today, which one did you find and why on both of them?
I would say that, again, it's this track. It's turn one. I always feel like turn one is just, you know, it has the most amount of issues for whatever reason. I don't know if it's partly because you get there a little quicker, because 2 and 3 and 4 are a little bit more smooth, and the arc is nice and smooth through the corner. I don't feel like there's as much adjusting. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but turn one has always been the issue, no matter what car I've been in now. So that was my answer for IndyCar, and it's my answer for today. So you know, it always gives you that little bit of a loose feeling getting in at times. And with these cars especially, I feel you have to set them up for the long haul. You know, you have to set them up for the whole run, as opposed to where an Indy car, they have so much downforce and grip that you could really set it up and it'd stay like that the whole race or the whole run. So, you know, there's a little bit of sacrificing and compromising on the car of what you have at the beginning to have a good car at the end. So, you know, I spent a lot of time feeling loose into one.
Let's go to the back. Go ahead, Marty.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Danica, your respect for the facility is readily obvious. So when you get here each year, what does it feel like for you when you first arrive and first walk in or drive into the facility? And what do you think about? And was it any different this morning than it's ever been before?
I think the best thing about coming back, and I got in last night, is that it feels familiar and it feels comfortable, and I'm always happy. I woke up this morning and, you know, pushed the blinds up in the bus, and I said to Paul, I said, it feels good. This probably sounds like a story you wouldn't believe, but I'm like, it feels good to look out the window and see Indianapolis. You know, it's like the whole words, you know, the words there, because it's across the, when I look out my bus from the bus lot. So I like seeing it. I feel very comfortable. It feels familiar. You know, I just feel like I've had a lot of different experiences here that could help me. And I don't know. I think it's just this special place where, you know, I feel like from the beginning I've always really believed that you have to show this track respect, and it will hopefully show you the respect back. But, you know, I've always thought that it's, and especially in an Indy car, this place can bite you pretty big. And I don't think it's too much different in stock car, to be honest. I don't want to find the wall. I haven't found the wall, and I don't want to.
Danica, thanks for coming in. Look